Just like that, we're back. Views from Section 400. Matt, Jack, and Brian in this action-packed sports entertainment podcast. We're here. Wildcard round's underway. NFL Week 5 is upon us. We have the byes that start. No Eagles football this week, so I'm in the neutral NASCAR t-shirt. And it's just going to be a lot going on this weekend as we are one Mets win away from the biggest series in Section 400 history. If the Mets win, as we're recording this, first pitch is moments away. We'll know the winner tomorrow when you guys are watching this. But if the Mets win, they take on the Philadelphia Phillies. Game 1, 4 o'clock, 4:35 first pitch on Saturday down in South Philadelphia. Look, the New York fans took over the Wells Fargo Center for the playoffs in the NBA. Mark my words right now, that will not be happening again. You can take over the Wells Fargo Center. Nobody gives a damn about a team who's been to the second round 10 years in a row and can't get out. This is Phillies baseball. This is the pride and joy of South Philly, other than the Eagles, of course. But there's no way New York, especially the Mets, are coming down to South Philly and taking over that stadium. It's not happening. I won't allow it. Mark my words.
I'll agree with you there. I don't think they'll take it over, but I do think there'll be a good amount of orange and blue in that crowd. We'll get some seven-line army in there for sure.
There'll be some New Yorkers. There'll definitely be in Xfinity. Won't be surprised if we see a couple brawls break out as well. So could be some fights. Stay tuned for that.
This has never happened before. The Mets and Phillies have never played in the postseason. So we need this. We need this for Section 400. We need this for the city of Philadelphia. We need this for the city of New York. And you and me need this so bad.
I'm really not looking forward to that. But we are one win away from that being a reality. Obviously, the Phillies already in the NLDS. Brewers, Mets playing right now as we record. Some other games going on. Astros lost. We'll get into that in a second. But if the Mets win, we will have a bunch of stuff planned, maybe some boots on the ground content, which could be huge. But as we do, as always, it's a winners and losers show. It's a Mike of the Week show. So we'll kick the show off with some winners and losers right after a quick word from our sponsor, SeatGeek.
The best time of the year is here. Football is back. And whether you're going to a game at Jordan-Hare to cheer on Auburn, going to the Link to watch the Birds, or going up to MetLife, not JetLife, Matt, to watch the Giants probably lose, you're going to want to go to SeatGeek, the official sponsor of the Views from Section 400 podcast. New users, $20 off your first purchase by using code VIEWSFROM400 at checkout. Again, new users, $20 off your first purchase to any football game, any postseason baseball game, anything you're doing this late summer or fall. Code VIEWSFROM400 at checkout. Thank you to SeatGeek, the official sponsor of the podcast.
Winners and losers presented by SeatGeek. Jack, Brian, we always love to see who won the week and lost the week. Not sure, Jack, we're going to have a double loser this week. Maybe yourself in there. I don't know. But we'll let Brian kick it off since he's in a good mood as the Mets are one win away from divisional round baseball.
Yeah, listen, I know it's football season and we love talking football here, but I have two baseball winners and losers for you. My first one's actually going to be the league and the fans. Major League Baseball is bringing back the home and away, true home and away jerseys for the All-Star game. No more of these nonsense. I believe I called in my blog earlier this season, they looked like the baseball spilled the Tide Pod on a creamsicle and then shat out that hat. It was disgusting. We don't have to deal with that anymore. Now we get the true what it should look like. Mets can wear their Mets jerseys. The Rangers can wear the Rangers jerseys. Phillies can wear their Phillies jerseys. Baseball's fixed again.
I agree. Definitely something we needed to come back. Manfred and the MLB as a whole got a lot of heat for it, and it's finally back. So, look, don't fix what's not broken. Everybody loved it. They tried to, reinvent the wheel, so to speak, and it blew up in their face. Nobody liked it. The All-Star game looked horrible. You already ruined it by taking away the winner, the winning league getting home field advantage in the World Series. At least give us our aesthetically pleasing team or players in their own jersey running out on the field. So part one is done. Now bring back the World Series advantage. I want to see it.
Yeah, I would definitely love if they brought that back. And yeah, just it's going to look so much better. So much better. My loser is going to be my heart. I'm surprised I haven't had palpitations yet, but the Mets have been in one playoff game and one winner get in playoff game. And those playoff games, they were down 3-0, went up 6-3, down 7-6, then won 8-7. And then game one of the playoffs, they were down 2-0, went up 3-2, they were down 4-3, and then they won 8-4. So I don't know if you guys have been following me on Twitter, but I'm pretty much coping with just any GIF I could find of Homer Simpson or Michael Scott in the office. Just my brain's been in a pretzel, and we are on day 3 of the playoffs. I don't know how I'm going to last if the Mets keep this winning streak up.
I hope they lose 2 to the Brewers. I would love the Phillies to play the Brewers in that divisional round. As you already know, I'm not feeling confident that the Phillies have a full week off. Had inter-squad scrimmage today. Not sure how that went. Saw Kyle Schwarber on second base looked like he hit a double. So curious to know what pitcher got rocked for that to happen. But other than that, not a fan. The Phils are off. But yeah, Bri, I hope you're taking your heart medication because it's been a wild ride so far.
It really has. And we're going to see the true rest versus rust if the Mets and Phillies end up playing, because the Mets have just been playing basically every day, it seems like, and the Phillies have that week off, you said. But something tells me the rivalry, the fans in the crowd, like the Phillies will get up for it. It might take an inning, but I don't see the rust being too much of a factor.
Yeah, I don't think the fans will allow them to just sit and play on the side. Maybe if they're on the road, but like, dude, CBP is going to be a movie, theatrical pleasure on Saturday.
Brian, we all know you love your aesthetics, so your winner makes a ton of sense. And your loser, man, I think everybody's ready for this. Everybody is ready for this. You have your heart attacks, have what do they use, an EKG? Is that what they do to shock you? Have one ready. Make sure Rose is trained in it because, this isn't going to stop anytime soon. And for Matt's sake, for your sake, I was going to make it the winner of the week, but, too big of it to just make it my winner. I mean, this matchup, which is inevitable, is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to this podcast. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I just really hope, because we're so excited for this, I really hope the Mets don't blow it. That's the one thing in the back of my mind. But I really think tonight, as they're about to have first pitch soon, I think they're going to take care of business, and we're going to see this series happen.
And it's not because the Mets are this all-world team. It's not because the pitching staff is lights out. It's not because the bats are red hot. It's because the Brewers suck. Year in and year out, we see the NL Central put this horrible team in there. And I don't care who it is. Every time a Central team is there, it's dog shit. I get it. The Cubs won in 2017 for the first time in a fucking century. But no, it's the NL Central is horrible. I'm not getting worried. I'm more worried about the Phillies getting up on Saturday and being able to get rocking and rolling, other than the Mets coming in and being this all-world team. So, yeah, that's what I have to say for that. The Brewers stink.
I don't know if they're as bad as you're saying they are. And I think you're a little bit down on how good this Mets team has been. But I'm
definitely down on it because you can throw these stats. They've had this amazing record since this date. They've been doing all this great stuff since this date. They do this on this date, but this date, I'm sick and tired of it. I need the Phillies to go out there Saturday and whoever they play, sweep them in the divisional round and get me fired up.
I'm just gonna let the Mets do the talking.
Yeah, we're moving on. Here we are, my winner of the week. It's hard for me to find winners these days with the way Auburn and the Jags are playing, but I'm going to make Devontae Adams my winner. I know on the last pod I was talking about, he's going to get traded. It's inevitable. He's going to go to the Jets, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's actually talks about it now that he's, pretty likely going to be moved. Antonio Pierce, there's very clearly signs of disgruntlement there. And I think everybody should be happy that he's getting out of the Raiders, going to another team. Hopefully it's a contender, maybe if it's the Jets. I'm happy for him. I'm talking like it's a done deal because that's how confident I am it is.
Well, I'll tell you one rumor I saw that made me extremely happy is he might be going down to Washington to join Jaden Daniels and his Rookie of the Year campaign. And that would be great for my fantasy team and for my Rookie of the Year take, and possibly a Jaden Daniels dark horse MVP run.
Wow.
pump the brakes on the MVP. But it would one show like it would make the Commanders even more competitive than they already are. But it would show a willingness from that front office and coaching staff and whoever's behind the call to be like all in, to be like, yeah, let's actually try and go win something. Let's be competitive all year. Let's stop being in this like, hey, we have a nice quarterback and let's just see how the year goes. That's doubling down and saying, no, we're not just going to sit on the sidelines and hope the good luck keeps flowing. Let's bring a guy in who's immediately going to make our wide receiver core better. And let's go actually try to win. Let's not just hope for the best. Let's go try to win. And that's what a move by the Commanders would do. And I can't believe I'm getting hyped up for that, consider they're a division rival. But they've been so bad in the past that it doesn't feel like a division rival.
And it's crazy, the Division Two that was so good last year and has been pretty much good for a while now might be wide open. I mean, the Eagles with their injuries and their struggles, the Cowboys can't stop a towel from getting wet in the desert. Like, there's nothing good in that division right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you another thing that's not good in that division right now, and it's my loser of the week. It's bad for that division. It's bad for the Eagles specifically, so it's bad for Matt, and it's bad for honestly football in general. Just the mindset. Darius Slay was on Micah Parsons' podcast, and what was he doing? He was clowning his teammate C.J. Gardner-Johnson, laughing at him. First of all, the fact that he's on Micah Parsons' podcast, your rival team, like divisional team, Cowboys, like, bro, like that stuff cannot be happening in season. You guys want to go do like some trips in the offseason, whatever. You guys are supposed to be at each other's throats. You're divisional rivals. I hate seeing this. I think it's just soft, and I know that's where everything's going, so respect and all that. But no, dude, like it's soft shit. I hate seeing that. And why would you be throwing your teammate under the bus? It's not a good look for the Eagles locker room.
Can't happen.
Can't happen.
Absolutely can't happen. It's a joke. There's so much wrong with that. Why are you on his podcast? There's a rival, divisional rival. You know how Philadelphia feels about the Dallas Cowboys. Unless you're recruiting this guy to come play for the Eagles, then I don't want to see you on it. And then clowning the teammate, there's so much wrong with that whole picture. It can't happen. Slay is we're learning. He once was a great player. He isn't what he used to be. There's no denying that. And look, I don't know that he sees the vision that this team needs to take, right? Like CJ Gardner-Johnson came out, took accountability, and addressed his coverage issues on Twitter. Not that Twitter's the best spot to be doing that, but at least he tried to take some accountability and say, look, I need to play better. I need to clean it up. I need to fix my coverage issues. Like Darius Slay will never take accountability. He is blame till, the league implodes and there's no NFL anymore. This guy does not have any accountability, takes no blame, and he's always pointing a finger, even though more often than not, he's been getting burnt for the past however many years. So was once a really good player. Now I'd say he's just an okay player, but there's no accountability factor for him. He's really not doing the right things. He's kind of doing all the right things when he's off the field, on Sundays.
Yeah, maybe big play Slay has become give up big play Slay.
Completely agree. The nickname I don't think holds merit anymore unless you add give up big play Slay.
Yeah, and I think the only reason he was on Twitter trying to talk about his issues was he tweeted his stats after they lost, and then he got called out.
I mean, he just has no accountability. He's always pointing the finger, and he tries to highlight. I mean, I get it to an extent, maybe trying to play for another contract, but, like, come on, man. There's no accountability there. So that's what I got for that. I'm not going down the rabbit hole on this. It's a fine loser of the week, and I agree with you, Jack, but I'm leaving it.
I hate that they're buddy. That's my biggest issue. I mean, obviously the being a bad teammate, but also the fact that these guys are supposed to hate each other, they're all buddy. It's just that's why everybody's soft, man.
It's like Trayvon Walker going on CJ Stroud's podcast and saying the entire Jaguars defense sucks.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that.
Yeah. Darius, come on this podcast and clear the air. That's what we need.
Yeah, Darius, come on here and yell at me for calling you out for having no accountability. Because I don't know
At
that I'm wrong.
Big play Slay.
Yeah. I'm in, dude. What are you going to do? Tell me that you're in the league and I'm not? Tell me that I'm on the couch and you're playing Sunday? Okay, great, bro. Play better. I'll jump into my winner and loser of the week here. And I don't know if we did it last week or the week before, but I just feel this guy needs some recognition. We talked about him on Sunday, but it is Sam Darnold leading the charge for the MVP race. The guy needs his proper recognition. He needs to be the winner of the week for me because he's 4-0. He should be the MVP. He is the MVP of the league this far. And what a career turnaround. We talk about guys who get drafted too early. Granted, this guy got drafted at 21 years old. Everybody said he's a bust, career's over, he should be flipping burgers, get him off the field, the whole thing. And now he looks like a quarterback who should be paid $40, $50 million a year as he's leading the charge for a team that's undefeated, 4-0, going to London to take on the Jets, try to get to 5-0. And if he's 5-0, I don't know how he's not the MVP favorite for the rest of the year because he looks unstoppable. So I know we talk about him kind of a lot, and I didn't think this was going to happen. But Sam Darnold's 4-0 looking to go 5-0, and he's just going to be my winner of the week because he deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah. Now, the way he's playing, he could go from seeing ghosts to sitting on parade floats by the end of the year. I mean, it's that crazy. And like you said, they have a real opportunity to go 5-0. And if they're 5-0, that's kind of like 4-0 is great. But when you get that fifth win, 5-0 looks really good on the resume.
Really good on the resume. And he's not like Joe Schmoing it out there, like throwing for 150 yards and a touchdown with 2 picks, and his defense is saving them week in and week out. I mean, they're putting up real points, big numbers, 300-plus yards, 2 to 3 touchdowns, 30-plus points, throwing the ball all over the place. I mean, he's winning them football games with his arm, with his playmaking capabilities, and just being a leader, which is what you need your quarterback to be.
Yeah, he's doing a fine job. Ain't no doubt about it. The Vikings are a well-oiled machine right now, and I mean, let's see if that continues going across, pretty far all the way out into London from Minnesota. So I think they get to 5-0 though. I think with the Jets struggles, they'll do it. Shout out Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and I know I shouted out Darnold, but surely the Jets have to bounce back. But we'll get into that game in a minute here. My loser of the week happened today, actually, and it's the Astros getting swept 2-0 by the Detroit Tigers. We can finally clown the Astros. They cheated. They won fake rings. Still not over the 2022 World Series. But how about the Astros fumbling a home wild card series? Very Mets 2022-esque move of them to do. But even more, they let AJ Hinch, the ex-manager, come in with let's be honest. The Tigers aren't as talented as the Astros, and they came in very inexperienced, other than the manager. And the manager came in, AJ Hinch, and did a immaculate job of controlling both games, putting guys in the right spots to win the game. They didn't do anything special. They played small ball, and they capitalized on their opportunities. And the Tigers are moving on to the National League Division Series probably for the first time since like 2013. So I'm pretty ecstatic. I want to see the Tigers make a run in the American League. And Astros are my loser of the week because we're not going to see them in a American League Championship Series, which I think is a win for America. And we're not, we'll see the Tigers, who is a Cinderella story. We get a Cinderella story in October. We usually have to wait till March for that.
Yeah, first time since 2017, the Astros haven't been in the ALCS. And in 2016, the team that came out of the American League, of course, was Cleveland. And the Tigers will get Cleveland next in the ALDS. 33-13 in their last 46 games, the Detroit Tigers. I mean, Tariq Schoolball is the left-handed Jacob deGrom when Jacob deGrom was in his prime. When he goes on the mound, you're going to win the game. We saw that in game 1. And when you have a guy like that, you can make a deep run into the playoffs.
That's all you need. The rotations shrink. The at-bats are that much more important. And look, they're playing loose. again, inexperience might bite them a little bit as we get deeper and deeper into these playoffs. But one thing won't, it's going to be the manager. He is experienced. He's lived for this moment. He's won a ring, granted cheating with the Astros. And, I have full confidence in AJ Hinch to lead this team to things that people thought would be unimaginable just a month, 2 months ago.
8 games under 500 in August. It's a crazy run.
It's a crazy run. It's unbelievable. And AJ Hinch is going to have to be the guy who gets in there.
I got to throw in a breaking news loser of the week. This bum on KC, on the Royals, just got up to the plate, 3 straight pitches, bunted the ball foul, and is out. You're in the major league, you can't bunt the baseball. Unbelievable.
I just think it's funnier that Tommy Pham's now coming up to bat.
Tommy Pham, I think he's been on like 15 teams this year.
And he was chirping Baltimore fans in batting warm-ups today. You guys see the video?
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Just classic, dude, to throw the, stats at a fan of, it's just dude, shut up, man. I hate Tommy Pham. I think he's just a clown.
Yeah, avid fantasy football player, Tommy Pham.
I hate his batting stance. But that's the winners and losers of the week. Presented by SeatGeek. We always love to jump in, see who won the week, lost the week. Make sure you let us know if you have any winners and losers in the comments below. But we'll jump into a little college football recap here. Georgia and Alabama, obviously. The game of the weekend, early favorite for game of the year. That was unbelievable. Boise State beating Wazoo. ACC struggles with Miami almost losing and Notre Dame and Louisville having a dogfight. But like I said, we'll kick it off with Alabama and Georgia. That was an unbelievable game. I was on Alabama the whole way. I said it in the roundtable. I bet on it the whole way. I'm backing the Tide at home, and the Tide for sure rolled.
Yeah, Jack, I think Ryan Williams made the right call, not flipping to Auburn to create the freeze 5. He was insane in this game, and he had that highlight, which that spin move, I still don't understand. He was not in the normal speed that you should be as an athlete. That was slow motion spin move. Doesn't make any sense. But.
Yeah, I saw a lot of catches like that this weekend. Watching the NFL afterwards, I feel like DK Metcalf tried to go for 3 of those. I maybe saw Justin Jefferson do one. It was kind of wild, but anyway, he played a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game. And you want to know where I watched that one? On the back of a JetBlue seat. On an airplane. I watched that legendary college football game on the back of an airplane. It was an awesome game. I got really nothing to say. Bama steamrolled them to start. Georgia, did their best Cowboys impression of making a comeback, but at the end of the day, you got to give a lot of credit to Bama. They showed up in this one and put on, and now they're ranked number 1 in the country. Overtook Texas. So Texas does everything right, but you gotta beat Bama or Georgia in a fashion like that, then you can get back to 1.
Yeah, if you're Texas, you also have to beat a terrible Mississippi State team by more than 30. You should have won that game by 65, but
it was pretty close in the beginning too.
Yeah, that can't happen.
If they didn't get off to a hot start.
But of course, it's classic Alabama, lose Nick Saban, and they lose a bunch of recruits, a bunch of them flip to Auburn, they all stink, and they're still the number 1 team in the country.
Real quick before we move on, is Alabama winning it all after what you saw them do to Georgia and the momentum they gained from that game?
I'm sticking with Tennessee.
Look, I think you got to give Milroe a lot of credit. When you have a quarterback who is as good as him, comes back for another year, and he's commanding this offense really well. So they're definitely a front runner. I'd be surprised if they're not number 1, but yeah, they can do it. What was the question? Are they going to win it? I'm not answering that. No.
Alabama to win it all, man.
No.
I just feel so bad for the Auburn fan base that now has to go play Georgia on the road after that game.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun.
Yeah, you say that, but at the same time, Georgia's been – they came back in that game, but they didn't look good at all to start it. Week before, they almost lost to Kentucky.
Kentucky just beat Ole Miss. Auburn couldn't beat
Yeah,
California.
Jack, let's temper expectations here. I'm not
I
looking
get it.
forward
You're
to
trying to
Saturday.
back your
Bro,
team,
Kentucky,
but it is
Kentucky
what
also
it
lost
is.
to South Carolina, so
Good luck this weekend, man. That's all. I'll leave it at that.
it's not going to be as bad as
Um,
you're making it out to be.
we'll see.
You're gonna
I
take them
think
plus
Brian's more
24?
my side than he is your side, and Brian's an Auburn fucking truther.
Yeah, I'll take Auburn plus 24 all day.
Yeah, I
Is that
think
what the
that's
spread
crazy.
is?
It's 24.
Auburn plus 24, lock of the week.
Maybe
Like I
if
said, good luck.
Yeah, maybe if Auburn's defense, although they played well against Oklahoma, but they have not looked good enough to where they
I
can.
think Oklahoma's just like not that good.
Yeah, well, they have their own issues with the quarterback room. Jackson Arnold was a Heisman candidate, and he got benched for the Auburn game.
Yeah, so
So,
I think Oklahoma was a little bit overrated. They just might not be that good.
yeah,
Dude, their quarterback is literally Lamar Jackson. I don't want to hear that.
Maybe
he
against
is
Auburn he
quick.
is. Yeah, against Auburn he is. But Brian, Boise State keeps on chugging and beats Washington State. I know you have them sneaking in as your 12th team, which is reserved for the group of 5 schools. Got to be pretty confident after that win, huh?
Yeah, no, I am very confident. Their only loss was by 3 to Oregon on the road. I mean, they have a quarterback or a running back, Ashton Genty. He has 13 touchdowns this year, almost 1,000 yards. It's been like 5 games, and this kid is just running all over the place. I know football nowadays is a quarterback type game, and your running back can only get you so far, but these Broncos, man, something about them. I like them to get in, and I like them to upset maybe Notre Dame as a 6 seed.
Wouldn't the 12 play 5, or does it not work like that?
12 would play
Yeah, because the first 4 get a
yeah,
bye. Then it
as
goes
the
12,
5.
5, 6, 11, 7, 10, 8, 9.
Yeah, I can't count.
It's all good. Yeah, I mean, look, it'd be cool to see Boise make it. I still think JMU's got a shot to sneak into that 12 spot. Are they ranked yet? I don't know. Is JMU even a top 25 school?
Not yet.
If they stay like they have been, they'll be top 25 in the actual ranking.
I know their schedule hasn't been all that great. It's been pretty cupcakey, but I mean, they're doing what they have to do. They're covering spreads and they're blowing teams out of the water. I'd like to see them maybe face somebody a little more competitive, but I think they're going to be right there at the end of the year as a team who at least will fight for that final group of 5 spot.
Yeah, the real tough test for them is going to be that penultimate week. They're in App State.
That's their toughest match.
That'll be the toughest one. And if they can win that, they're probably going to go undefeated.
Yeah, well, and I don't even think that's like App State hasn't been as strong as they've been in years past.
Yeah. Although
No,
they
Will
do.
definitely be tough with a different atmosphere, but they haven't been as strong.
App State's always that team that loves pulling off an upset.
For sure. For sure. We all remember App State basketball when they welcomed Auburn.
Yeah, we do. JMU does have Louisiana Monroe and General Booty on the road this week, so that could be a tough game.
That could be a tough game. Yeah, we might not even have to worry about that. But the ACC struggles. Miami nearly lost. They should have lost. I'm sick and tired of seeing that quarterback and that team fly around the country and everybody just be head over heels for this Miami team who won't be able to beat one of these top schools like a Georgia, like a Texas, like an Alabama. They'll get put on blast if they ever have to match up with them. So get them out of there early. We don't need to wait all the way till the end of the year and have a waste of the game. But yeah, Miami almost loses, and Notre Dame, Louisville. I guess Notre Dame got embarrassed so much by Northern Illinois that they're finally playing competent football.
Yeah, I still don't know what to think of this conference at all.
It doesn't make any sense.
Because, like you said, Miami, I have more faith in Cam Ward than you do. I don't know why you hate him so much, but I do agree. I don't think they're as good as the rest of the elite teams in the country.
They're not.
And
Matt hates him because he's too chill.
I don't like I don't like the way he plays quarterback. He's too chill for me, and like I don't know. it's like, dude, the guy's been around for 6 years, and we're acting like this is like he's just like out of nowhere true freshman quarterback who's lighting up the ACC, which is, we have our issues there, but it's just like this all world. We've never seen a guy like this before. It's like, bro, he's been around for 5, 6 years. Like, I get it, he's having a nice year, but like, let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree, Brian? Am I right or am I correct?
I mean, he definitely has experience on his side, but he's always been pretty good. And now he's finally at the best school he's been at. I mean, I guess he was at Wazoo, but I guess Miami would be considered better. I don't know.
They would be, but look, it's just I think they should have lost last week to really put America on notice, but I think I don't think this is the first of the Miami struggles we'll see for the rest of the year.
I agree. Yeah, I really don't know. I'm still rooting for Pittsburgh to somehow come out of this conference.
So am I. But yeah, Notre Dame, Louisville. Again, we're talking about it. Is Notre Dame now a team who can? I'm not sold on Notre Dame. I don't care.
They're going to get in just because they don't have to play conference championship, and they'll get enough wins. But yeah, I'm not sold on them to make a run.
What'll Notre Dame be? Like an 8 seed?
Yeah, that 5 to 8 line.
I don't know. I don't think they. I don't know. I'm not sold on them. I don't know why they get this weird love by the committee year in and year out. They got to be paying somebody off. Something weird's going on there in South Bend.
I mean, they got one of like the bigger like fan bases. They're like,
yeah, I know
they're like
that
the Ohio States where you just somehow.
Nah, they're like the Cowboys of college football.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you. They're America's team for college football. Even though the Cowboys aren't America's team, they just say that. Right now, the Vikings are America's team. But we saw Auburn lose a tough one. I had to fade the boys. I took Oklahoma at halftime, got the plus 250, cash, money, smack. Brian, as a Auburn writer on the Auburn staff, your thoughts of another tough L. Peyton Thorne looked horrible.
Peyton Thorne didn't look horrible. He had the bad interception at the end, but he threw for 300 yards.
No, yeah, Peyton Thorne actually, he played all right.
It's the tale of the Auburn season is the offense can move the ball, but Hugh Freeze can't call a game, so they either turn the ball over or they just get stopped because they're running Wildcat, and when you have an all-SEC running back in the backfield you could give the ball to. It's just Hugh Freeze, he's a great recruiter, and we see that with his recruiting classes, but at some point you have to win football games, and recruiting can only get you so far.
Yeah, I mean, is Hugh Freeze on the hot seat? Are they going to make a change? Like, what's going on with him, dude? Brian, you say yes, Jack, you say no.
I don't think they can.
Bro,
we've literally hired so many new coaches over the past few years and shipped them out after a year or two. I think you got to hang in there. I mean, he's building a good class, but he needs to bring in better coaches. I feel like that's the same thing I was saying with Doug to start the season. Like, you have to have coaches there that can actually call good plays. Something that can actually, like, a good offensive coordinator that can actually shake things up.
Yeah, it's just like, it's a real problem when Alvin Henderson, who, by the way, he's a running back coming next year. He has like 40 touchdowns through 5 high school games. It's absolutely ridiculous. But he said the reason he's happy or excited about next season is he knows he'll play right away. And he knows his friends that are recruited to come to Auburn will play right away because the team's such dog shit. Like, that's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where we're at on the Plains right now.
I honestly, dude, it's like not even fun to rip on him anymore because, like, Brian, you just look depressed talking about it, and Jack
I gotta write about him every week.
Shakes his head.
Like, I'm just sitting here shaking my head because week in and week out, Auburn just pulls some Auburn shit and chokes a game, and the Jags pull some Jag and choke a game. But I've not been having a fun football season.
I'm gonna say, man,
the only fun I was having was in the fantasy world. Freaking fantasy land, and then I go and get Rashee Rice taken away from me. So nothing is fun.
Hey, he might be coming back though. It's not a torn ACL allegedly. So you might be getting him back.
Allegedly.
I think Brian's giving you false hope is what he's doing.
That is what he's doing.
But to wrap up college football here, we're dragging it off. Mets baseball's about to start. We want to get Brian out of here. We still have some NFL to get through, which is obviously the meat of what this show is. But yeah, last thing, Utah upset by Arizona. I had Utah winning this game by a touchdown. Arizona came in and got the job done. One, does this knock Utah out of the playoff? Two, does Arizona have enough juice to now make some noise?
Yeah, Cam Rising is either a mental midget or he's just made of so much class he needs to retire from football. He's letting his team down year in and year out. Utah is not good without him, and we saw it against Arizona. They're done. He's probably not going to come back this year and try to redshirt and come back for a 9th season of college football. Arizona is the best wide receiver in the country, so if they can just get him the ball every play, then maybe.
Who's the best wide receiver in the country?
Jalen McMillan.
Over the Ryan Williams guy from Alabama or whatever the 17-year-old is?
Yeah.
Jalen McMillan?
Yeah, is that the Washington kid or is that Arizona? They sound the
So
exact
Brian
same.
doesn't even know the best receivers. Okay, got it.
Well, the Washington kid and him sound the exact same.
Wait, is Jalen McMillan not the dude on
That is the Washington kid.
he's on Tampa
Yeah,
Bay
so
now.
Brian doesn't
Yeah.
even know there.
He's on the Bucks.
Yeah.
You're tripping.
So
It's,
the guy
it's-
that Brian has no idea his name is.
It's
the
also
best guy in
McMillan,
college
but his
football.
name is Tatoria.
Tatoria McMillan?
Yeah,
Like,
that
not
guy.
even close.
They're both McMillan. I just got them mixed up in my head.
Maybe it's his brother.
Fair enough.
His brother?
Fair enough.
Huh? No, he's not
Is it
his brother.
No.
He's got
All
500
right, that's all
yards.
I have for college football. Hopefully, you guys can wrap it up there as well, unless you want to keep going on this McGillen or McKillen fucking name swap. But why don't we jump into some NFL? It's what the people want to hear. It's what they want to see. It's what they want to talk about. The lines are up this week. The bye weeks have started. We don't get a full slate, so betting-wise, you can't really juice up those parlays, but you know the boys up in Section 400 have you with some picks nonetheless, and we kick it off with a divisional Thursday night battle tonight. Wait for the roundtable at 4 o'clock. We'll have some fresh picks there, but just a quick how we're feeling on this game. I kind of like the Falcons again at home.
Yeah, I really like the Falcons here. Another just weird stat that probably has nothing to do with this game, but the Bucks lead the all-time series 31-30. Falcons are at home. It just, in my brain, it seems perfect for this to be 31-31, and the home team gets it done. And I love the spread at 1.5.
Yeah,
And I think Kirk Cousins is going over 228.5. He's thrown for 250 yards.
Yeah, I have a feeling both of these quarterbacks are going over on their number. We might get some points in this game. I like the way the Bucks are playing right now, and I have them winning this one. So I'm going to be on the opposite side of the coin, boys. I got the Bucks. I know 1.5's the line, so give me them on the spread, and I'll be against you guys in this one. I also like the over, and I like both of the over on the passing yards. So hopefully we can get a primetime Thursday night going our way for once.
Look, the winner takes control of the NFC South, and I think the script is the Falcons to win that division. So, yeah, I'm going to have to lean the Falcons, like I said, just because the script is what the NFL goes by, and winner takes control. Obviously, that's how they're going to do it, is by winning this game. But, yeah, that's that one Thursday night. Tune in tonight. Roundtable drops at 4. We got a roundtable, right, Bri?
Yeah, we'll have a roundtable dropping around 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Perfect. Stay tuned for that. 4 o'clock a little bit. We'll see where the boys are fully leaning as we'll dive through the questions, give out some bets at the end. But my maybe favorite game of the week, one of my favorite games of the week, is Jets traveling to London to take on the Minnesota Vikings. I guess both teams are traveling to London, but yeah, Aaron Rodgers looking to get back on track after a tough home loss to the Denver Broncos of all teams. But I just gave Sam Darnold a bunch of credit, a bunch of praise, rightfully so. Looks like the MVP of the league right now. But I think I like the Jets here in a bounce back spot to at least cover 2.5 by a point, cover 3.5.
Yeah, I will be taking the Lunder here just because I have to. 42.5 seems a little low, but I have to take the Lunder. In terms of picking a side, the Jets have only played in London once, and they lost in 2021 to the Falcons. In Arthur Smith fashion, the three Falcons scored touchdowns in that game: Kyle Pitts, Hayden Hurst, and Mike Davis. Just
Sounds about right.
complete Arthur Smith. The Vikings are 3-0 in London. So I like the Vikings in this game.
I also like the Vikings in this game. Sam Darnold finally in his own. He's going to get revenge against the team that drafted him and made everybody in the league think he was shit. So yeah, Sam Darnold playing like an MVP, gonna take down the former 3 or 4 time MVP Aaron Rodgers.
How many does he have? That's a good question. I think
He
he has
definitely has.
three.
He definitely has 2, but I don't know if he has 3 or 4.
I think he
right
does have 3 because he had 1 and then he went back to back, right?
now. Yeah, he did go back to back.
Uh,
Anyway, I like Sam Darnold to take down the former MVP,
4.
and he's got 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah, dude, Rodgers no joke. He's like that.
Yeah, I like the revenge game call on that too. Big. This could be like the magnum opus for Sam Darnold. Like just get to 5-0 and just lead the league in MVP voting, and just as the final fuck you to the Jets too.
Yeah,
There are a lot of haymakers on the line for Sam Darnold in this one. But we'll move on to the Ravens taking on the Bengals. Weird spot. Ravens seem like they should be favored by more here, no?
Yeah, the line is a little bit iffy. And I looked back to see kind of the history between these teams. And Joe Burrow, he in 2021 he threw for 1,000 yards in 2 games against the Ravens. But besides that, he's had like 200 passing yards in every game.
Yeah, and the line's what, 2.5 for the Ravens? I can't bet on the Bengals because I've already seen the disaster they can be. But I don't trust this line. Whenever it's a tight line like this, I lean to believe, that other team is at least going to do something to keep it close or help Vegas out. Vegas wouldn't throw this line out there if there was no reason for it.
well, I agree with that, and it's also like I'm gonna use a word here. It's also peculiar that the line is the over under set at 50.5. I mean, that's a lot of points for a Ravens Bengals game in an AFC North divisional game. I know that the Bengals defense hasn't necessarily been great this year, but has their offense been that spectacular? I know Brian's back in on Burrow, but are we getting 50 points in this game, Brian?
That does seem high as well. I
Right?
think it's a play on the Bengals not really being able to stop the run. What Chuba Hubbard had 100 yards last week, and now you got to face Derrick Henry and Lamar.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe Burrow, I don't know. I feel like the Bengals, this is a must-win game for them, especially with the Giants and Browns coming up. Like you can feasibly be 4-3 if you win this game. But it doesn't feel like a 50-point game.
Is this a sneaky Bengals money line play?
For my future bet for them to win the Super Bowl, I'm really hoping so.
If the line is only 2.5, I don't think you're getting enough value to bet on the Bengals here.
Probably not. I can agree with that. It might be a stay away game because a division matchup like this where every single line is super weird, I think you might just have to stay away, and that's just might be what we do here. But another interesting line. We got interesting lines all over the place here. Bills traveling to Houston, but the Bills are favored on the road. What the heck's going on here? Vegas not impressed with, not that they put up a dud, but maybe thought they would have handled the Jaguars a little more than they did a week ago.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going on. Josh Allen is 9-2 in games played indoors. And
I can run with that stat.
Yep, because of that, I will be taking the Bills -1.5.
I mean, I also like the Bills in this one. I don't think that the Texans have been scraping by, and how you beat the Bills is what we saw the Ravens do to them. You run through them, and the Texans aren't going to be able to do that. They're going to have to throw on them, which is a tougher task. So give me the Bills in this one. Josh Allen, James Cook, they're going to cook.
Let them cook. I like the Bills in this one too. The Texans have that division wrapped up regardless, so I think they can afford to lose one here. So I'll take the Bills in a bounce back spot after getting embarrassed on Sunday Night Football a week ago. But Colts taking on the Jags. Obviously, I don't
Wait,
have
hold on. We got a squad ride on that, didn't we? Did
what
we all
everybody on the Bills.
just squad ride the Bills?
We
Didn't
did.
we?
That might have been our first squad ride of the season.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's the first time I've heard that.
How about that?
Squad ride on Bills -1.5 or money line.
I don't want to be soft. 1.5.
Yeah, I was just saying it's gonna be the same thing.
I'll do it, man. 1.5 it is. Bills -1.5. Views from Section 400. Squad ride. It's the first of the year. We're looking to go 1-0, and I think we just might. Josh Allen 9-2. How can you not jump aboard with that train? The guy is lights out. Now we can jump into what's that?
What a stat.
Colts taking on the Jags. I won't take it away here because Jack under the weather. So are his Jaguars. What's going to happen in this one?
Dude, I mean, is anybody else just dumbfounded that we're 2.5-point favorites in this one? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what Vegas has been watching. Maybe different football than I have, but the Jags should not be favored in any game coming up until they show us something. We just can't finish games. Simple as that.
I have one question. Is Joe Flacco the starting quarterback this week?
So I saw a report that Richardson is day-to-day, which means he very well could play. Either way, I have a feeling that if they trot Richardson out there, he's just going to get hurt again, and we're going to see Flacco. So either way, we're going to see Flacco.
Damn, but I wish he was starting so I could take his passing yards.
Yeah, that would be nice. Definitely not taking Anthony Richardson's passing yards. Sorry, Met just started. Lindor got a walk, so I am locked into
Ryan's in and out on us here. There we go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If Flacco gets named starter, that might be a good over to take this week.
Quick shout out while we've been shitting on Auburn this whole podcast. Auburn alumni Braden Smith just allowed 2 pressures only to TJ Watt matched up against him last week. So I am not worried about him at all against this D-line that the Jaguars have.
Best D-line in the league.
Yeah, chill with that.
We were told from Jack. Best D-line in the league.
Best D-line in the league.
Not this year.
It doesn't help when you don't have a secondary. You gotta be a unit.
It doesn't help when you have anything.
Complete unit.
Yeah, they don't have much of anything going on right now.
Ooh.
And a quick breaking news update as well. Royals move on to the divisional series to take on the Yankees.
Wow.
Yes, yeah, the Yankees are the one.
What a weird divisional
really,
series in the American League. Baltimore 2 years in a row. They're still too young, man. They're bringing up 21-year-olds and thinking, "Oh, give them 1 year." Okay, the following year, then they're 22. That's still too young for baseball.
Yeah, Yankee fans have to be just chomping at the bit right now. This is not on paper, it's not a very hard American League playoffs to get through.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I would not count the Royals out against the Yankees.
Yeah, I would
not. Bobby Witt's time is now.
I think the Yankees are going to be there though. I'd put money on it right now.
Yeah, the last 2 years, I mean, they've been undone by the Astros, and they've had to deal with the Orioles in their division. And those 2 pains in their neck are gone now.
Yeah. The stage is set, man.
It's going to be interesting, but let's try and fly through this here so we can actually enjoy the game and not be mid-recording. Speaking of Brian being tuned out, we move on to the Giants playing on the road in Seattle. 6.5-point underdogs. I am fading the G-men all day long. Give me the Seahawks by a touchdown.
Yeah, this is an atrocity, and I know the NFL can't flex games before the week 13, but this game's on at the same time as the Mets possibly playing the Phillies. And I will not be watching. So to everyone out there, take the Seahawks because they will not have me rooting for them.
Yeah, so I'll be tuned into the 1 o'clock slate for NFL, but 4:08 hits, and it's Phillies baseball. I'm not saying it's the Mets yet. It's still undecided. Well, I guess when everybody's watching, it won't be. But as of right now,
It,
us
it could still
recording,
be undecided.
it
If the
can
Mets
still
go
be.
down
Yeah,
tonight.
it's on this side. I'm not assuming it's the Mets. Um, but yeah, 4 o'clock slate. I can't say that I'll, maybe flipping
Don't
back and
worry.
forth, but I'll be
Don't worry.
locked
I'll,
in
I'll hold it down. I'll hold it down for the 4 o'clock slate this weekend.
for
Appreciate
sure,
that.
dude. We're gonna need you to. But the final game here that I have: Cowboys Steelers. Steelers favored at home against the Cowboys. I kind of like it.
Yeah, this feels like the cupcake kind of Cowboys taking on the gritty Steelers, and it's not going to be a fun game for Dallas at all. There's going to be a lot of bruises and maybe some pulled hamstrings, and they're not going to get out of this game healthy.
And you know that Steeler defense is going to give Dak a headache all night long.
Especially after they didn't play their best game against the Colts last week. They're going to be very mad.
They're going to be very mad. Mike Tomlin knows how to get his guys fired up. It's Sunday night football. A lot of people were like, "Oh, this game's going to suck." I'm kind of looking forward to this on Sunday night.
Yeah, I mean this. I don't know. The Cowboys are like the pretty boy. I always think of them as like the pretty boy kind of team, and then the Steelers are the exact opposite. They're what everything football should be under Mike Tomlin, especially, and their defense led by T.J. Watt, who's an absolute psycho. I love him. So I like the Steelers in this one because of their defense. The Cowboys' defense has been pretty bad, dude. Cowboys' defense has been pretty bad, and look, Justin Fields is not impressing me. I know he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Whoop-de-doo. He's not impressing me. I do think that I don't want to go so far as to say they would be better with Russell Wilson, but I think there's a chance. And it sounds like he's coming around pretty soon.
Yeah, I think he's low-key been healthy, and Tomlin's just been being nice and saying he's injured and waiting for Fields to kind of at least get worse so he can make the
Right.
change.
Well, to be fair, I think Fields did play his worst game. Even though he had the rushing touchdowns, I feel like he played his worst game in this past game.
Yeah, but it'll definitely help. I mean, the Cowboys can't stop the run, and the
No, they cannot.
Steelers, their whole offense pretty much is the run. So I think that's why this line is so close, and that's why, like Matt said, this should be a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree. Why is Frankie Montas a game 2 starter for the Brewers?
The Brewers don't really have starting pitching. And yeah, breaking
No.
news, Brandon Nimmo, RBI single in the first inning here. Early lead for the Mets.
Who's starting for the Mets tonight?
It's Mania.
Like, dude, like that is like it's a horrible pitching matchup for a playoff game.
Yeah, the Brewers don't really have starting pitching. They've been able to do it with their
Neither do
bullpen.
the Mets. I don't care about they've been this since this date. They've done that since this date. I don't care. Sean Manaea, Severino, and Quintana do not scare me in a playoff matchup.
They really
In a
should.
playoff series.
They've been the best pitching staff in the league since like the last 3 months of the season.
It doesn't matter. I'm not scared of it.
What happened to all your good pitchers, Brian?
They don't have any
Injured,
other than
traded,
Senga.
left. Yeah,
In which order?
um,
The 3 I'm thinking of.
dude, Pete, what the? Yeah, Wheeler left, DeGrom left. Steven Matz stinks now. He's on the Cardinals. Noah Syndergaard just got old and he stinks. Max
But
Scherzer
Brad, you
left.
don't love that Pete Alonso's not dogging it down the line there.
I don't understand what just happened.
Yeah, now he's gonna fake an injury so he doesn't get benched.
That was horrible. Like if he's running there, that's an RBI ground out.
Yeah, it really is. But can we jump into our favorite bets here so we can move
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, let's get it going.
Favorite of the weekend. Bri, kick us off.
My favorite of the weekend is going to be the Buffalo Bills, our squad ride.
Are we all allowed to say that?
Kind of take our squad ride as your favorite.
Okay, well then I'll give you the Falcons.
Bam.
Okay.
I would have rather you given them the Bills.
Jack, what do you got for us here, bud?
Favorite of the week is going to be the Seattle Seahawks.
Really, you're locked in on that?
Absolutely. I know they lost to Detroit last week, but they've looked like one of the most impressive teams. Detroit's a really good team, but I love what Seattle put out there. I think that their team is, especially their offense, is just awesome.
And you're
Giants will
taking
not be able
what?
to keep up.
You're taking them by a touchdown?
Yeah, what is it, 6.5, right?
Yeah, I think it's 6.5.
Yeah.
I will take. Give me this team in a get right spot. Rams banged up. I'll take the Packers -3 on the road.
Yeah, I like the Packers a lot this week too. That's a good call.
Think they get it done. Jordan Love looked electric, threw a lot of picks, but still lit up the stat sheet. So we'll see what happens there. It's SoFi Stadium, so a lot of points, maybe in a sneaky overplay as well. But favorite underdogs here. Bri, again, kick us off.
Ooh, underdog is tough this week. I'm gonna say the Bengals just because I'm really rooting for them, and the line's a little weird.
I'll take a stab with the Jets +2.5. I know you guys love the Vikings, but I'll stab the Jets 2.5.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that. I think I'm going with Tampa Bay. Baker's going to cook in this game tonight and beat the Falcons.
Favorite over, Brian. Without further ado,
Jackson Churio just went yard. We got a tie ball game. I like the over. Oh, this is gross.
I rest my case on this fucking dog shit rotation.
Jackson Churio is a great player. I'm not worried about that. I am going with the Cowboys and Steelers over 43.5 on Sunday Night Football.
Oof.
The over?
The over.
Can I ask you why?
Cowboys can't stop the run, and I think the Cowboys offense is good enough to score 20 points. I like the Steelers 24-20, and that would get me over barely.
Fair enough.
It's a weird one, something different. Not sure it's on a lot of people's radar. Maybe it is, but I'll take the Saints Chiefs over 43.5. Monday night, we'll get Joe Buck, jacked up in the booth. Taylor Swift will most likely be there. Travis Kelce gets in the end zone twice because Taylor Swift's there. It's going to be a whole thing, and I don't think the Saints are going away just like that. I think they'll put up a fight and score some points. But, yeah, I'll take the over 43.5 there. Favorite under?
The Lunder. Vikings, Jets, 42.5.
Jack, what do you got?
Under. I'm going Chicago and Carolina. It's set at 41.5. It's going under.
I will take under in the Dolphins-Patriots game, 36.5. I don't care. It's a low total. It's going to be like 13-10 final score.
Yeah, that's a gross line. So is the Denver and Las Vegas at 35.5.
Yeah, I mean, I there might not be 10 points scored in that Dolphins-Patriots game. And, I wish I was joking by saying that.
That is going to be a gross game. That Red Zone might not go to that one once.
I don't know. Will any team even enter the red zone?
Tyler Huntley will have a scramble at one point that gets into the 20, and then they'll get sacked to get out of the red zone.
I think you might be right. But the last one to wrap it up before Mike of the Week.
I don't think I gave it over. Did I?
I gave Saints, Chiefs. Brian gave the Lunder. Yeah, you gave the Bears over.
No, they were my under. Bears, Carolina under.
I thought you gave one. We'll have to roll the clip back. But just for shits and giggles, throw one out there for us.
New York and Seattle.
Ugh.
Doubling down on the Seattle game.
Yeah. Dude, it's 43.5. It's a low line.
Daniel Jones against the 12s.
I don't love that.
He can do it. He's got Malik Neighbors.
And Wan'Dale Robinson, who apparently is good.
Malik Neighbors, that's a good point, though, because I know Malik Neighbors got banged up.
He's still in concussion protocol.
Okay, well, that's obviously a huge.
Wait, Neighbors isn't playing either?
He might play, but With the
That's
concussion, you never really know. He could get cleared Sunday morning.
Oh,
that's a
dude, I'm
huge
slamming that Seahawks -7.
Yeah, right. That's my favorite. But if Neighbors is playing, yeah, I like the over. But if he's not, I definitely don't. If you want to give me a contingency, give me Jacksonville and Indianapolis. Both of these defenses are trash, and the line's at 46.5.
So what? That's the contingency. If he plays, you're gonna rock
If
it.
if he
I'll
doesn't
rock it
play,
either way. I don't care.
Yeah, come on, man. Stand on something here.
What?
You don't do any
I
contingency
gave you
agreements.
two. I gave you two. Well, yes, you do. If you're a smart better, you absolutely do.
Fuck that. Favorite prop of the weekend here. What do we got? What are we thinking? Some good value out there this week.
yeah, this kind of is counterintuitive because I took the Lunder, but I feel like after getting 4 rushing yards, Brees Hall has to go over 49.5. That
He's
line
not
seems.
even a starting running back anymore.
Yes, he is. Braylon Allen's a presence, but Brees Hall's still the workhorse there.
I don't know. You just have to like convince yourself that, considering you drafted him number 2 overall in fantasy.
He's still the workhorse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very shocked that you're going to do that in a game that you're calling the under for. The historical under, nonetheless.
Ryan's too distracted on the Mets game. He's just throwing nonsense picks out there.
It seems low. Brees Hall should get 50 rushing yards.
Oh my god, you don't even know what you're throwing out there.
I really like, even though I'm obviously not in on the Jaguars right now because they're just out here breaking my heart week in and week out. I am definitely in on Brian Thomas Jr. this week. He has seen a huge uptick in targets and receptions the past 2 weeks. He's, rookie guy. He's about to go into his 5th NFL game. He's just getting better and better. He's getting more and more targets in the offense. Whatever his props are, I doubt that they're adjusted to, the volume he's getting yet. Bet on BTJ. The Colts secondary isn't good either.
Don't hate that.
Yeah, I like that a lot, to be honest. I don't know if the line has dropped for it yet, but I will take Jordan Love's passing yards over, and his new favorite target, Tucker Craft, I'll take his over receiving yards as well.
Yeah, they finally learned that Luke Musgrave is terrible.
Yep. And I snagged Kraft in fantasy, so it would be awesome to have him have a nice little day there, which him and Love looked great last week together. And coming up against a bad Rams defense, I think we can expect more of the same. Love's going to have a huge day. Hopefully it follows with some Kraft magic. But that's the NFL slate. Stay tuned this weekend. Probably have some live shows for you. I know we skipped out. The boys were banged out on the NFL slate last week, so we'll make sure to bring a banger of a live show. Bri, you available for anything this weekend?
I actually will be free at 11 o'clock, so I'll be on the NFL live show for a little bit.
NFL live show. Brian's going to be on it. You're not going to want to miss it. A lot of good juice there. But stay tuned. The weekend is almost here. This week's flying by, which I don't love because, again, still a little nervous for Phillies baseball on Saturday, I will say. Not shy about that. But we almost got rid of it. It's back. It's here to stay. It's the Mike of the Week, and we're going to kick it off with Brian. Mike of the Week. Who do you got here, Bri? Presented by SeatGeek.
Yeah, I apologize because I don't know if this has happened before, but I would be surprised if it had. The top team in runs scored this year in baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the team that allowed the least runs, the Seattle Mariners, both missed the postseason.
Not surprising. Diamondbacks let up too many runs. Jordan Montgomery on a 2-year, $47 million deal has to obviously opt into that second year. Had a 6.7 ERA this year. Their pitching staff was horrible. So that's why, they scored a lot of runs, but they let up even more. And the Mariners, the complete opposite. Pitching staff was great. Offense couldn't get going, even with deadline additions of Randy Arozarena and maybe another piece as well. So, yeah, it's just what it was. Mariners couldn't score, and the Diamondbacks couldn't stop letting runs up.
Yeah, it's absurd that they both happened in the same year.
Totally ridiculous.
Yeah, that is wild.
Jack, do you have a mic of the week for us here, or what are we doing?
I do. You want a Michael of the week?
I would love a
Um,
mic of the week, dude. It's my favorite
so
segment.
I was watching the Bama and Georgia game, obviously, and I'm sure you guys have seen the picture of the two Alabama players with the eye black tape under their eyes. One of them had Psalms and then, the verse, nice little Bible verse for you. The other one right next to him said, kill everybody.
The duality of men.
The duality of man. That was my Michael of the week. I just saw that and said, I bet one of these. No, I can't say that. Never mind.
Said I got to talk about this on the pod. This is going to be ridiculous.
It was wild, dude. Kill everybody.
Yeah, and what? Right on the other, underneath the other eye was like super religious.
The dude right next to him. It was two players. They're standing right next to
Two
each other.
separate bars. Gotcha. I think it would have been more funny if it was like Bible verse on one and then just kill everybody on the other. Same fucking head.
Probably would have been funnier, yeah, but maybe a little bit more concerning as well.
Yeah.
True that. I agree. But yeah, Alabama #1 in the country because they have psychopaths playing football for them.
Yep.
But my mic of the week will be what I don't know if it broke before the game, during the game, after the game. Joe Flacco touched on it in his post-game conference, I think, but he's only 8 days younger than Anthony Richardson's mother. And he literally addressed it after the game and said, yeah, I don't think Anthony Richardson thinks I'm cool. I don't know. I thought that was a neat little stat in there because Anthony Richardson is 21, 22 years old and is now in a quarterback competition with a guy who's as old as his father.
Life
who could
comes
be
after
his
fast.
father.
Life really does come at you fast.
Yeah.
Top pick, and now he's struggling to hold off a 40-year-old.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, Joe Flacco, look, Shane Steichen knows all about having the young quarterback who's good and then bringing the old guy to go win a Super Bowl. He is not unfamiliar with that territory as he did it as the Eagles offensive coordinator in 2017. So Anthony Richardson, AR-15, be prepared for your dad, Joe Flacco, to come in there and save the day for Colts Nation and the guy who sings that cringe Colts song.
This is our Colts.
Oh
this
my
is our
God.
team.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, did you just see Frankie Montas just poof that?
Bro, work on your PFPs.
All right, before we get too far off the rails here, hopefully the Mets lose. I'm Matt, Jack, and Brian, always along. It's Views from Section 400. Hopefully this was an action-packed episode. We have Saturday and Sunday live shows coming at you hot. Stay tuned for all the content. Check out our Twitters. I know we're getting active and live there. Just dropped some MLB rankings today. We'll be continuing to do the tweets. Check out everything that we got. It's going to be a wild weekend. I hope you're here with us to enjoy it. Hopefully, Brian or I don't have a heart attack because it's going to be close. But I'm Matt, Jack, and Brian. Like I said, along Views from Section 400. I'm out.
You are now in the mix with DJ Savage.
Let's go, Mets.
Let's go, Mets. Battle Royale.